Today, I will be doing a review of the newest roller coaster at Cedar Point, Sirens Curse. Sirens Curse is currently the record holder for the tallest, fastest, and longest tilt coaster, and the only tilt coaster outside of Taiwan. But I wanted to see how good it is compared to the other coasters in this wonderful amusement park, but let's just dive straight into it. First, just like always, the entry experience is what we're going to be talking about first, and I was a bit surprised about Sirens Curse. It actually has a good queue line with some theming. And when I say theming, don't think about like Disney, Universal. It's not like that. It's just light theming that makes the whole coaster and the whole plot of land look a lot better. First, you walk in and walk right next to the drop, and it's really cool seeing the drop up close. There are some queue buildings which are only used for super long lines that have some nice shading that I wish were across the whole ride, since this queue lacks shade pretty badly. Then you cross a bridge that goes right over the ride, and you're just surrounded by all the track that looks stunning with the little paint touches that they did. Plus, there are these little props like tires and broken wood, and also water that's red, by the way. I think that was a really good touch. And it just makes the ride look a whole lot better. Then you pass by more of the ride and do a 180 where you pass some more smaller elements like the smaller hills, and this section is amazing for off-ride and to just look at the ride in general. But you hit the lockers that are free and are super nice to put stuff in. But you get to the station that looks really nice and has a rusty feeling. I like the whole vibe that they went with. And then you sit in the trains. Have a lot of room, but they have a restraint that's very similar to the B&M Vest. They're just all right, but you strap in and you begin your ride. You rise up the lift hill, and it's not the biggest ride out there, only being about 160 feet up in the sky, and it's even smaller than its next door neighbor, Valraven. But the entire time on the way up, there is some very eerie music that fits into the whole theme of the ride very well. But you get to the top, take a left, and have the drop. This drop, for being how short it is pretty incredible. You are just left there staring at the ground for a good 6 seconds or so, but it feels so much longer, and I just can't even describe it. Then, when you release, you are just thrusted forward and have some amazing stomach-dropping feeling, and it's even better than a ride like Valraven or even Millennium Force, like so much better. It's so good. All of this and this hype music that starts playing, because yes, there's on-ride audio the entire ride, and it's a great drop, and for what it is and what I expected, it's a lot better than I thought. But you hit the bottom and take a left-hand turn in the first element, the dive loop. Overall, this is a lot better than the standard B&M dive loop, being that you hit the apex, get some good airtime, and then just drop right down to the right. You are able to just get some good airtime on this thing, and you are yanked to the ground in the back, and it is a solid inversion, even if it's one-upped by the element that follows right after. And I say that because the next element is the very quick barrel roll. You seriously take this with a full head of steam, being it shortly after the first drop, and it's very, very close to the ground. You are whipped to this element and get some good flow ejector airtime, feeling like you're going to hit the guests below you. But you rise up into this very unorthodox triple down almost element. I don't really know how to describe it. I don't really know what to call it, but it's just 3 quick airtime moments back to back to back, and it's all the way in one concession all the way to the ground. The first one, you go through this little twisted hill that you get some good ejector airtime, but then right after that, you fall down and hit the second moment of air, being this off-bank / wave turn type of element. I like it a lot, and you get some of the only sideways airtime of this ride. You hit the final airtime moment, just a straight drop, which is the worst of the airtime in the triple down. Towards the front, you get little to no airtime, and in the back, you are able to salvage some good floater overall, but it is a weaker airtime moment from what I remember. But after, you go through the one and only underground tunnel in the park, and it's pretty cool having some good smoke effects down there, and I think they did this tunnel really, really well. But that tunnel gets you into the non-inverting loop, which is pretty good, and especially in the back. You rise up, not really getting much air, but then you are pulled towards the ground in the back of the seats, flying you out of your seat. Plus, the twist being non-inverting is amazing. Compared to the one on Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket, I think this one doesn't have as much airtime, but I like it's more whippy, if you know what I mean. So I think that they're both really close on which one I like more. One of the highlights in this layout for sure with the inversions in my opinion. You hit a wide turn which doesn't really have much force, but it leads into another amazing airtime hill. Nothing crazy about this one, just a straight airtime hill, but it does give some light floater, which is good, and I can't complain about a good airtime pop. But you are thrown into the final inversion right after, another barrel roll, which is good, but not quite as good as the first one. You don't go through it quite as quickly, even though it's low to the ground, which makes you feel like you could scrape your hands right against the ground. Overall, really solid inversions on this thing. I think both barrel rolls are good, but but I think another type of inversion would have been good other than a barrel roll, but they probably just couldn't fit it because of the compact layout. After the roll, you hit the finale of the ride, just a lot of low-to-the-ground airtime hills. First one is a wall saw element that provides some more of that off-bank flowjector airtime. This one is cool because this one actually rides right over the queue line directly above the people below you. Even though there is a roof, they can still see you passing over, which is really cool, and I like the interaction. Then you hit 2 back-to-back twisted airtime hills that have some more of that flowjector airtime that is really fun. Getting thrown from side to side from the last 2 elements is very fun and a good way to end this ride. But after those 2 hills, you hit the final brakes, and that concludes your ride on the Vekoma tilt coaster Sirens Curse. Sirens Curse is a very good ride, and I like that the ride past the tilt drop was actually good and forceful. The inversions are fun and a highlight of the ride for me, and all the airtime pops, even if not ejector, are great and you can't complain about some good airtime. Then the smoothness of the track being one of the smoothest rides at Cedar Point, and the soundtrack of this thing makes the ride even more fun. I personally see Sirens Curse as the 5th best ride at Cedar Point, being behind Steve, Maverick, Millennium Force, and Top Thrill 2, and is a very good 8.5 out of 10, being the 20th best roller coaster that I've ridden, right behind Alpengeist. Thanks for watching. Tell me if you've ridden Cedar Point's newest roller coaster, and if you liked it, but other than that, have a good day.